What's going on, girl? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here for the first time, my name is Nicole and I am your online sister girl. I know a lot of us Christians today that are lukewarm. God says that He rather us be hot or cold, in or out. He don't want none of us to be in the gray area. There are some things in your life and in mine that we have to give up daily in order to grow closer and to keep that consistency within God. In this video, I'm going to be opening up to you ladies about some of the things that I had to give up. A lot of these things that I'm getting ready to name today was some of my struggles and a lot of things that kind of set me back in life. But you know what? I'm here for the transparency. It is my job and my goal and my desire to guide you ladies along your journey. Recognize your purpose and the will that God has on your life. In order to do that, ladies, we have to talk about hard things. We have to dive deep into personal areas in our life so we can pull it out, uproot it, so that way we can plant God's word right there where that sin once was. But before we get started, ladies, it is now time for our verse of the day. Luke 9:23 says, "And he said to all, if anyone will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me." The first thing I had to give up, guys, is secular music. I was the biggest Beyonce fan ever. When I was listening to secular music, my day would get like sidetracked. I don't know. I would begin to think like the world. And if my life did not look like what I thought it should look like at a certain age, at a certain time, I would begin to get discouraged. I gave up secular music and I traded it out for worship music, you guys. My mind began to change and it's now become a habit of mine. My mind, my heart, everything started to align and I just felt a lot better and I was more sensitive to God's spirit, which is something that all of us should want and need. So I created a space for God to fill. And even though other people might not look at it as something big, something as small as changing what you listen to can have the most amazing effect on your life. Number two, you guys, I stopped watching certain TV shows. I used to be a huge Baddies fan. Also used to be a huge Power series fan. I stopped watching shows like that because I realized that it also starts, just like the music, starts to influence the way I see the world. And it starts to influence the way I saw myself at times. These shows are not serving God. These movies are not serving God. Even watching horror movies, you guys, and I know we love to get scared and I know we love the excitement, but even watching horror movies or even watching demonic movies, watching movies that talks about evil spirits and all these other things, you guys, you are opening up doors for demonic spirits to come in. God tells us that we should not dwell in certain areas. We should not put our hands in certain areas for so many reasons. And I told this to somebody earlier this week. Just because you don't see any consequences from your actions does not mean that it has just gone away. It may not come back until you have your own children or your grandchildren or their children. You just never know, because that's how a lot of generational things come into our lives, because we do things and we think we get away with it. You don't get away with anything. The next thing I had to give up, you guys, is my toxic friends and our family. I had to stop talking to certain people. I had to stop answering the phone for certain people. I had to stop responding to text messages to certain people, because those people, they're not meant to go with me where God is trying to take me. They was there for a certain season. They served the purpose in my life. And now it's time to move on. We try to take people with us, along with us, as we go to our blessing. It can be a blessing blocker. And once I moved to another state, I realized that I'm starting over and my friend list started over as well. I cut a lot of people off. Baby girl, it is time to move on. If you really want what God has for you, let go of what you had and hold on until He gives you what you need. The next thing that I gave up, you guys, is clubbing. When you go to these environments, God is not in there. Where God is, there is everything that I need. And finding myself in a club, I realized that I was trying to escape my reality. After I went home, the next day I woke up and I realized, why did I even go? If you're getting serious about God and who He is and what He has for your life, clubbing is something that you will have to give up, because God is not in that at all. If you truly want to get really serious about God and really serious about what He has for your life, you have to begin to get away from the things that keep you separate from God and the things that He has for you. Next thing on the list, you guys, is I stopped dressing a certain way. Little bitty dresses, little bitty skirts, just all types of inappropriate things brought me the attention that I did not want. I started to take my appearance so much more seriously, and that means I started to cover up more. I'm not saying that I walked around here being no nun. I walked around here from head to toe, because I did not. But however, I did stop wearing really, really short skirts. I stopped showing more than I needed to show, and I started to find my beauty in other areas, like developing my mind, or developing my prayer life, or reading and getting closer to God, to where my mindset started to shift to where I want to respect myself a lot more. I don't have to be half naked. I don't have to be in everybody's face. I don't have to be walking around like I'm just some advertisement for some type of bra wear. To be honest, us as Black women, they already see us a certain type of way anyway, and we don't do it any justice by dressing a certain type of way and adding to that already judgmental mindset that the other races already have about us. If you are looking like Sexy Red, Ice Spice, Nicki Minaj, or any other Cardi B, if you are out here half naked as a woman, especially a Black woman, and expecting to get respected and expecting to get a good man, then you are really delusional. I was really delusional because I thought that I could dress like this and still expect a man to approach me as the woman that I thought I was. You having to dress up like that is not necessary in order to show your value and to show that you are a good woman. In fact, nobody will even know that you're a good woman because they're too distracted by what you have on. The last thing on my list that I had to give up, you guys, and this is a big one for a lot of people, I had to give up sex. After dealing with my own feelings about having my two kids and, trying to get closer to God, I struggled a lot with it's too late, or I can't, I already had kids, I already A, B, and C, until God reminded me that once I gave my heart to Him, everything is made new. Don't give yourself away to people that do not deserve you. Even if you already have a child or have lost your virginity, whatever the case is, it's never too late to begin again. I don't care what the world tells you. God says you are made new. Giving up sex has cleared my mind. It has allowed me not to be attached to anybody. Being soul tied is a real thing. I am not soul tied to anybody. My mind is not cluttered with anybody. I am not focused on anybody else but me and God and my children. Solitude has given me the mindset of I want to make myself so much more valuable that whenever I do have a husband, this is going to be even better because I'm not going to be tied up and messed up. I'm going to be clear-minded and knowing that God is right here at the center. Now, that is some of the things that I have given up in order to grow closer to God. And I'm really thankful and grateful that God has seen me through every bit and piece and every season of my life with all these things that I have listed, because again, like I stated in the video, nothing that you do when it comes to God, especially if you're just starting your journey, is going to be easy, because it is going to be unlearning things and habits and a mindset that you have already established for years after years after years. The beauty part about it is that God slowly melts away those old things, kind of like a dish. The longer you let a dish soak, the more the food, the debris, and everything begins to melt away off the dish. And that is the same thing with God. God is not raising us to be like grass. He is raising us to be like trees. And trees take years to develop. A tree can weather through many, many, many storms. So now, ladies, it is your turn to let me know some of the things that you have given up in order to answer to God's calling and to begin your journey or even grow your relationship with God. Let me know in the comment section below. Like I tell you guys, we can't heal if we don't talk about it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you beautiful souls in my next video. Bye.